Okay, it says I'm live. I hope everybody can hear me. Truth has become indistinguishable from fiction. I just heard this by Paul Craig Roberts. I think he was treasurer for Ronald Reagan or something. Anyway, the world's a mess. Governments of the world are out of control. They're no longer governments. They are straight slave drivers. This arrest of Julian Assange, if anybody thinks this is anything, you are uninformed. Julian Assange had, what was that? Oh my goodness. Whatever you get when you're running or whatever. What all those immigrants that are coming from South Central around the world into the U.S. at the southern border, predominantly, or asylum. That's it, asylum. Julian Assange had asylum in the Ecuadorian embassy in England, and he was arrested because the puppet, who is the acting leader in Ecuador, which is a colony of the United States in some way, said he broke some rules. First Amendment rules. Asylum doesn't come with conditions. They brought him out there in broad daylight. Arresting Julian Assange is an intentional criminalization of the First Amendment. An assault, an intentional assault on freedoms. There are some days I really despise getting interested in this whole political thing because I already knew the world was a mess. And I have a much grander picture of just what a shithole it really is. And so many people, oh my goodness, so many people just sit there and accept it. Like, oh, that's just the way it is. No, it's not. This is not normal. This is not the way people should be treated. Seeing this from a different perspective, and most of you who know me know that I've always had a different perspective. I'm not anti-American at all. I lived there for 40-something years, and you know what? I did really well, and I loved it. That I've been a non-compliant, non-player of the rules all my life. My mother called me a rebel since I was a little kid. I questioned everything. Rightly so. It turns out everything's a bunch of freaking lies. You know, school was like freaking boring. I had no interest in explorers and, you know, oh my God, you know, a little bit of English, whatever. A little bit of math, science, you know, proper science, not this bullshit that they're feeding us, scientism. Can't question it. It's a dogma. It's a freaking dogma. You know, fucking global warming is caused by your SUVs. Anybody that still hasn't looked into this in the depth that I have, and anybody with a freaking critical thinking, you know, ability, holy shit. It's a way to tax you. And people are too stupid to see it. Willful ignorance is rampant. The information's out there. And you got to be careful. Shit, I got caught up with shit, realized it was bullshit. Internet. There's a lot of bullshit on the internet. You got to be able to think about it. You have to, use the trillium, the knowledge, the wisdom, there's a way to think through things. There's a way to make, there's a way to weed through the bullshit, but the other thing too is I realize not everybody has the luxury that I do. People are caught up in this daily boom, boom, boom. We have been conditioned into it. I was there. I can relate to it. I'm empathetic to the whole thing. But what I'm not empathetic to is the degree to which people are adhering to. I'm not better than anybody, but man, it's so plain to see when you have eyes to see the absolute tyranny on a day-to-day basis. The really, really just awful things inflicted on humanity, not only in the United States. Geez, look what just happened in New Zealand. Ooh, okay. Totally orchestrated. Not one person doing all that. I mean, again, it doesn't take a rocket science to see just the horrific atrocities, and then completely, even the mainstream media, and I know most of you know, but some of you are still watching it thinking that it's okay. It's not. They don't call it programming for nothing. And even the people, there's a lot of people on the freaking internet talking a whole lot of absolute BS. So yeah. The intentional criminalization of the First Amendment is the equivalent of this arrest of Julian Assange. This was a conspired effort between three governments with absolutely no integrity. That would be Ecuador, that would be Britain, and that would be the United States. Okay? Some people get kind of bent out of shape because I, support Trump. Too evil. No. Wakey. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and I'm pretty confident that 80% of you have absolutely no clue. People think the presidents are the Congress people. New Green Deal. Are you part of that New Green Deal? You think that's a good thing? You're a fucking idiot. Sorry. Don't take it personal if the shoe doesn't fit. If you had any inclination of what that thing says, again, we had an EPA that was doing its job, all those other organizations, NGOs, all those environmentals, Sierra Club, all those places, they don't do shit. They don't do nothing. Okay, they do a little tiny bit. I'll give them that. There's a little bit, but the rest of it is squandered. People's pockets are full. The environment is shit. Flint, Michigan still doesn't have good water, people. Come on. Flint, Michigan still doesn't have good water. And it's been like 7 years. What the hell? And you freaking crybabies are whining about kids getting separated from their parents at the goddamn border because that's what your leader next state over, whatever. Oh, I don't know. It's I don't know. There's too much complacency. There's too much looking to the government to do stuff. Listen, I was in the Anarchapulco back in February. Great conference. I recommend it. I also noticed that there's a lot of on non-anarchy type of things going on in that community. And again, it's a growth thing. This is, it's a great idea. It is. But there's some elements of our humanness and our environment that we here on planet Earth and this galaxy and this universe. It is ruled by that natural law is basically what's governing everything, as it's always in motion. Aspects of know thyself. That's been my momentum here, my seeking for many years. Understanding, I'm a fundamental for me here at this time. I'm all about, astrology, numerology, I Ching, tarot. All of, to me, the metaphysical, keeping my chakras in line, playing with my sound bowls, my singing bowls, and my tuning forks. Everything's frequency. It's been like my, understand or correspondence, as above, so below, as within, so without. Okay, this I wasn't even quite sure. This is, again, it is really time, folks, that we see a bigger picture. These little scandals on the freaking TV, they are massive, deceptional, distractional aspects. Hey, look over here, because there's nothing to see over there. No, over there is really where it's going on. So it's hard for me sometimes. It's really difficult for me to look at the world and say, wow, I don't understand why everybody just doesn't see it. When I first, really, when I was just diet woke, 5-6 years ago, and I started sharing what I was learning about all this, deception, people put me down. My friends are like, I was like, ooh, you don't see that? I've realized over the years, I understand that we all have different programs, different beliefs, and we filter. Those are the glasses. Those are the lenses that we see the world through. So it manifests in the way that we manifest. We are the creators of our experience. I think through it every morning. Many times during the day, actually, because I've been I feel very tuned in, very aware of my creator status, my ability, to magical. That's what magic is. It's intentional manipulation of consciousness. And your states or levels of consciousness will reflect your experience. And that's been pretty cool. And then running into people I haven't seen in years because they leave whatever. That's been really nice. I ran into somebody today. It was just wonderful, So there's for me, there's a lot of I kind of hear going on right now, and but there's a lot that goes in there. It's not just that simple, because it's not just that simple. um, yeah, and then also I was hearing him talk about Brexit. And again, this is this man called Paul Craig Roberts, who I had never heard about. He was on the show of Jason Status. I think his channel was called Outside the Box. I'd never heard of these gentlemen, either one of them. And I saw them both talking tonight, and I was like blown away. I was like, wow. What he was talking about, Mr. Roberts, was the most comprehensible, short version, but freaking powerful. Right now, it's like, repairing the old Frankenstein. Putting, I don't care if I voted or not, and I don't, because I don't. I don't believe in it. Straight up, it's a freaking lie. It's bullshit. It's totally rigged. It's always been rigged. It's never been a fair thing. It's just an illusion to give people it gives you the illusion that you have a choice, and you don't. You don't have a freaking choice in this system. You never have. The sooner you figure that out, the better off you'll be. But what it's death to truth. All these, oh my God, like him or hate him, Alex Jones, pay attention what they did to him. I don't know if Max Egan was just shut down on YouTube. What the hell is his name? The guy from New Zealand, Lenny with a Y, because it's the most important question. Shit. Something about my day. Anyway, the whole New Zealand thing is bullshit. Actually, I haven't seen a whole lot of what's on the media, but I'm pretty sure it's bullshit. If they said anything, if you believe that there was a lone shooter that acted on his own accord, it's bullshit. Okay. And, same as almost every other episode of mass shooting in the world, was not a lone gunman. It wasn't somebody that just, acted on their, oh, God. I remember seeing 911 and going, oh my God, this is bullshit. What the hell? And that didn't have a plane hit it, and the Pentagon, and the big hole in Pennsylvania where there was no plane. There was no plane in the Pentagon. Yeah, you've got some problems, Just, yes, your government would kill all those people. Absolutely. They send all them young people to war. You want to get into it, they're blood sacrifices. It is a ritual. The World Trade Center was definitely a ritual. Those were the pillars. Building 7 there. Maybe that was the middle pillar out of place. I don't know, but there was a ritual involved there. Anyway, I'm gonna let this go, because I'll get on this again. I was just inspired to say something about this, because we're in for a really grand time. We live in the most fascinating times in history that I know about. I'm sure many of us have been here many, many, many times, and maybe we're starting to remember some things, starting to get these feelings. Pay attention to that stuff, because, anyway, peace, love, and anarchy.